Prior to us moving in together, I had a little studio that was comfortable for me, and I just wanted to please her. She wanted a more spacious spot in a better neighborhood, better area, and I just wanted to make her happy, comfortable. So.
How long had you been dating?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then signed the lease in my name.
Why was the lease only in your name?
Well, at the time she was living with her parents and her credit was low, and so I signed it in my name, and she agreed to pay half of the rent.
Right, but the landlord wouldn't mind if you added more names of potential people who could be responsible. In other words, why wouldn't you just add her name?
Her credit score was...
I know, the credit score, but you're going to be responsible for the rent, or you're both going to be responsible?
We were both going to be responsible for the rent.
So you qualified for it based just on your salary because they didn't look at her qualification?
Correct.
All right, and then what happened?
She ended up breaking up with me, and there was complications with the relationship. She was pregnant. She ended up aborting the child. Prior to that, we had a pregnancy scare, but...
How many pregnancy scares does one couple have?
It was one prior to that, yeah, but it was all blindsided for me.
Was it?
It was.
Because you don't understand how babies are made?
No, it was...
Right, you could engage in birth control yourself, right?
No, she was on birth control.
Yeah, no, I know. But if you've already had one pregnancy scare, maybe you could engage in birth control, right? You could, right? There's such a thing as male birth control, right?
No.
No? You can't wear a condom?
He didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. You can't wear a condom? You could, you just didn't want to.
Well, she was open to taking birth control. I wasn't forcing her by any means.
Okay, you dum-dum, listen to me. How many times can you have a pregnancy scare? Was she really into you?
She was. We were into each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
You find out that she's pregnant how?
I was away on a trip for work. And
where?
In Germany.
Okay. Do you travel a lot?
Yes, I do. I'm rarely home. That's why I was comfortable with the original studio apartment, because I was really only home on the weekends, and I was comfortable with that. So I ended up getting the bigger apartment, and I was away on a business trip, and she called me that she was pregnant, and I told her I wanted to just let's talk about it when I get back home, because at the time...
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think she has something really important to talk to you about?
No,
a pregnancy?
No, I mean, we talked about it.
Right, but your way of handling it is to tell her that you'll talk about it when you get home.
Well, at the time...
How long were you dating him?
A year prior to moving in together.
How many pregnancy scares can one person have?
Well, before that, it was just one, and then the second time was...
Yeah, no, but I don't... Okay, what kind of birth control were you on?
Just the pills, contraceptive pills.
How did you get pregnant twice on the pill in 1 year?
So I was experiencing some side effects, as birth control isn't the most comfortable form of birth control for, or pills aren't the most comfortable for certain women. They don't agree necessarily with
so were you missing
my body.
Pills?
I asked Neil if he would be open to possibly using condoms instead of contraceptive pills, just because of the way that they were affecting my body and my health, and he was really against it. And I did sometimes forget to take the pill.
Because there are other forms of birth control as well,
yes.
you know that.
Yes.
Okay. And you didn't want to explore any of those?
I wanted to. He was not open to.
No, I'm not even talking about a condom. There's IUDs. There's other. I mean, just medically speaking, there's a bunch of different things that you could do. You didn't want to explore any of those.
No.
Well, now we know how you keep having these scares. Well, the first one was a scare. It wasn't an actual pregnancy. This one was an actual pregnancy. You find out and you call him. He's in Germany and he doesn't want to talk about it.
Yes, but I called him several times and I attempted to discuss the situation with him, because, of course, it was a very emotional time for me.
Yeah.
I was all by myself.
Yeah, because you're pregnant and alone.
Yes, and before that, our relationship was already kind of getting tense, because he was just always brushing me off, and I was always walking on eggshells around him ever since that we moved in together. He was always unhappy with the way that I was doing things.
How was he unhappy?
He would just criticize everything that I did. Like I wasn't cleaning enough, I wasn't cooking enough or well enough to his liking, even though I also have a job.
Who was doing all the cleaning and the cooking?
Mostly me, since I'm there for most of the week. by myself.
Okay, girl. How many red flags need to wave in your face before you realize he's not the one? First off, him refusing to wear a condom, knowing very well that you can get pregnant and that it takes two to tango, red flag. Him not caring about your health, red flag. Him saying you're not cooking and cleaning well enough, red flag.
Our relationship got to a very tense point. I just felt like I was constantly having to walk on eggshells around him because everything that I did, it was wrong. And if I ever wanted to reach out to him and talk to him about his work, or I even offered to come with him to the trip to Germany because he would be away for 3 weeks. And it's just very hard for me to be without him already during the week. But he told me that I would just be a distraction. I would mess everything up for him. So I kind of realized that maybe he doesn't feel the same way about me that I feel about him.
Or he doesn't want the same things that you want, you know, but go on.
Yes, so I called him to tell him that I was pregnant, and I wanted to know what he would think about the situation and what he thinks that we should do next, because we're in it together. So he just ended up brushing me off and saying he has a really important meeting and that I'm going to ruin everything if I keep calling him, and he would talk with me when he got back.
Does that sound like somebody you want helping you to raise a child?
Those were my words.
I'm not talking to you. Okay. Does it?
No, so I ended up having to think about it by myself and to go through the situation by myself. And I decided that if the baby was going to be such a problem for him, then I would be willing to kind of
terminate the pregnancy. Did you say to him, are you ready to be a father?
Yes, and he said that he was not ready to be a father and wasn't open to the idea of it for another 5 to 10 years.
Okay. Did he say that after you told him that you were pregnant, or did he say that that was kind of his theme?
Well, during the first pregnancy scare, I understood from him that he wasn't ready to be a father for the next 5 to 10
I'm talking about
years.
when you call him and you tell him that you're pregnant, and you keep trying to talk to him about it, and he won't talk to you. During those phone calls, did you ever say to him, well, do you feel ready to be a father?
Yes, and he said that he isn't.
Okay, so you terminated the pregnancy. He comes back from Germany, and what happens?
So he came back, and we got in a really, really big fight about it. He said that we should have discussed it. Why did I make this big decision by myself without asking him? And I just felt that...
so now he wanted control over contraception?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
I just felt that it was a little bit unfair because I tried to talk to him about it, and he just wouldn't even let me talk to him about it at all until he got back. And I thought that I was actually doing the right thing and salvaging our relationship.
When you say doing the right thing, for who?
For him, to
Did you want to be a mother?
I was open to the idea.
Did you want to terminate the pregnancy?
If it meant that we would salvage our relationship, then
so
yes.
You're thinking 100% is what can I do to please him? Mm-hmm. Girl, how'd that work out?
Not well, clearly.
Who broke up with who?
I broke up with him over text.
Who broke up with who?
She broke up with me.
Okay, go on.
I just felt like there was nothing we could really do at this point. There was nothing to move on from or go forward from. So he ended up going on another trip, domestic trip this time, and I packed all my things and I left and I went to live.
And
with
now
my
you're
parents.
suing her for the rent for the 1 bedroom, cause what?
Well, in total we agreed to. That's what made me get the studio.
But she didn't sign the lease. You didn't.
She didn't, but it was all
And not
in
only
good
that,
faith,
you
but-
got that lease because it was something that was within your price range and you can afford.
Yeah.
Because that's how the landlord decided that you could get that lease. So if she didn't sign the lease, why does she have to help you pay for the lease after she moves out?
Well, it's just all in good faith. The fact that we agreed to it. I was comfortable living in the studio I already had.
Yeah, well, then I guess you made a decision and then thinking you were going to stay together, and then she decided that you weren't the kind of person she wanted to stay with. Why is she captive there for a whole year?
I wouldn't use the word captive, but I would, like I said, I was working. I was rarely home. On the weekends, I would be home, and the only time I would be back, the house would be a
You're
mess.
entitled to want what you want. What kills me is that you literally tell a woman who tells you life has instigated in my body thanks to us and our making love, and your answer is I'm really busy at work and I have like, what's wrong with you? What kind of stop. What kind of human being are you? Seriously. You know, I mean, you're entitled to not want a child, to not want to have this. But, you know, if you really, really don't want it to happen, I know one surefire way that you can make sure it doesn't happen. But if you're not willing to do that, then you are at the mercy not only of whether she forgets a pill, you're at the mercy of whether she says, well, I'm going to have this baby. Or if she says, I'm going to abort this baby. You're just at her mercy. Because it's renting in her body.
Amen, Judge. Because this guy is out here getting his rocks off, not even thinking about the consequences of said actions. Nobody wants to come to terms with the fact that if you are not ready to have a kid, then you probably shouldn't be doing the adult thing of making a baby. If either one of you aren't adult enough to be taking the necessary precautions, then you shouldn't be doing it. You shouldn't be playing house together. You shouldn't be so flippant about what you guys are doing as a couple.
If that's not the situation you want to find yourself in, then I guess take more responsibility for what's going on. You see, explain to me, persuade me how it is that she made a commitment to you that she would stay there for a year and pay. Because if you were roommates, this would be different. You know, two roommates pick a place, you both agree, there's two contracts going on, the one you sign with the landlord and the one that you agree with each other that you're going to stay there for a year and, you know, sweat it out even if you end up not liking each other as roommates. But this is different. This is an intimate relationship where you could have said to her, I'm sick of you and I want you out, and she wouldn't have any recourse because she's not on the lease. So why does she have to pay you half the lease?
I just want to backtrack to the part of me becoming a potential father, if that's okay, because I never once said that I did not want to be a father. I said I was not ready for it, but if the door was open.
It's pretty evident that you're not ready for it when you expect her to wait 2 weeks to talk to you. It's pretty evident. But I'm not talking about that because I don't care if you're ready to be a father or not. Mm-hmm. I care whether or not she owes you contractually. So what evidence do you have to show me that she's got to pay you whether or not you guys break up and she moves out?
For the most part, I'm a responsible young man for my age. I set apart my expenses, my income, and I have a mother I take care of for. She's an elderly woman that I send money to. On any extra income I have, I send her money. She came to this country empty-handed with the opportunity to give me the best opportunity in my life, and I'm trying to make the most of it. So
right, but what puts her on the hook for rent?
It's just the simple fact that we contractually agreed to it.
What do you mean you contractually agreed?
Well, I have evidence that she...
Go ahead, show me what evidence you're talking about. That's exactly what I'm asking you.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I apologize.
That's okay. Okay, these are texts before you moved in.
Correct.
Lorraine, I'm going to sign a lease for the one bedroom you like. Excited about you moving in. Just making sure you're going to pay me half the rent on the first of every month. Cool? Of course. I can't wait to decorate our new place. Love you, honey. XOXO. Love you too. Okay. And did you pay while you were living there? Were you paying rent?
Yes, I lived there for 5 months and I paid him for every month that I was there.
Okay. It's a one bedroom, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So I take it you didn't want to get a roommate because it's a one bedroom. I'm not going to make her pay you for rent for the time that she wasn't there, that she broke up with you. I think that's a risk that you took when you signed the lease on your own, and it is a foreseeable circumstance that people break up. That's my verdict. Verdict for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Millian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Can't believe you wasted all my time on that.
It is what it is. We wouldn't be here had you paid, but...
We wouldn't be here if you were being a man and you did what you were supposed to do and treated me well.
Well, I think it's safe to say that it's good that they are broken up. Judge Millian ruled in favor of the defendant, and I wholeheartedly agree with her. This man signed the lease by himself, and just because she broke up and moved out doesn't mean that she has to pay you for the rest of the year. If your relationship was so rocky to begin with, then don't move in with each other. Just don't do it. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. Do you think she should have had to pay for the rest of the year? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.